Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, and this is going to be a second video of our series where we are going to solve our case study of the financial modeling, right? So in the last video we have seen like how to analyze the case study when we receive a case study from any company, whether it is in a case study round or there is any competition. We have to solve it and we have to build a financial model out of it. So उसको analyze कैसे करते हैं, we have seen that in the last video. So in this video only we will see like how to extract all the information that is available to us on the Excel just to build a base for the financial model. And before that as well, we will learn or we will see like what are the basic things that we should kept in mind before building a financial model. There are certain things like relating to formatting, relating to like how to present your data in the financial model that we will see first, and after that we will interpret all the things that we have study into the Excel. So this is a case study of the Cinepolis that we have seen in the last video, and in case if you do not have seen our last video, so I will suggest you first go and watch that video, and after that you can come and watch our second video of that. Okay, so I am just opening my Excel, and this is a blank Excel, and now we will see like how to start building a financial model from the case study from scratch. Okay, so the first, there are 2 to 3 points that I want to highlight here before getting into like how to interpret, how to extract all the things that we have in a case study. So उसके लिए the things that I want to make the highlight of this video is, first of all, in order to make a model attractable or more understandable to the reader who is reading our financial model, okay? So we need to remove the grid lines first because it will look a clumsy look to our model when someone is looking at our model, जब हम उनको डिलीवर करेंगे ये फाइनेंशियल मॉडल और जब हम उनको डिलीवर करेंगे द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ दिस केस स्टडी, ठीक है? So the question is like how to remove the grid lines. That is very easy. There are two ways through which we can do that. The one is we can directly go to the view and untick this button, the grid lines, and we can see like the grid lines has been removed. Okay. The second thing what we can do is we can always press Alt in order to find out the shortcut keys, shortcut formulas for all the options that is available to us in the Excel, right? So we need to go to the view option. So I will press W, and we can see like if we press VG, all the grid lines has been removed from our from our tab, right? So this is the first step that I generally prefer to follow before building a financial model, before getting into the numbers into our Excel, okay, in any of the tab of our model, whether it is first tab or it is last tab. So I will remove the grid line first for every tab of our model, okay. The second thing is like the flow, like how to flow, make a flow for your model. Flow का मतलब है कि नीचे जो tabs हैं, like we know कि there are various tabs that we need to have in a financial model, like income statement भी होगा, balance sheet भी होगी, cash flow statement भी होगा, assumption sheet भी होगी, build up revenue drivers भी होंगे, schedules भी बनेंगे, like debt schedule भी होगा, depreciation schedule होगा. So uh, everything has its own tab, right? So what is a perfect order कि income statement कहाँ पर आए, balance sheet कहाँ पर आए, output sheet कहाँ पर आए, revenue drivers कहाँ पर आए, assumption sheet कहाँ पर आए. It can't be like this कि income statement आ रहा है, then assumptions आ रही हैं, फिर balance sheet आ रही है, फिर हम output ला रहे हैं, फिर input ला रहे हैं, फिर finally हमारा cash flow आ रहा है, फिर debt schedule आ रहा है, ठीक है? It can't be like this, right? There should be a proper flow, whether first we inputs all our input sheets, like assumption sheet is going to be our input sheet, जो schedules हैं वो हमारे inputs होंगे, तो inputs की जो tabs हैं वो सारे inputs के आगे आए and उसके बाद हमारा output आए. आउटपुट में क्या आता है, लाइक इनकम स्टेटमेंट आता है, बैलेंस शीट आती है, कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट आता है. आउटपुट मीन्स द फाइनल रिजल्ट्स जो केस स्टडी ने मांगा है, लाइक इफ द केस स्टडी इज आस्किंग अस टू बिल्ड द थ्री financial statement for the target company, so our output will be income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, right? So these three should be in a perfect order after the output tab. ठीक है, आई गेस क्लियर हो गया होगा, अगर नहीं हुआ है सो वी विल सी कि कैसे हम वो फ्लो बनाते हैं. ठीक है, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई विल एंटर हियर our introduction tab, which will contain all the information relating to our target company. ठीक है, now what all information we need to enter into the introduction tab. ठीक है, सबसे पहले the logo of the target company, the company जिसके ऊपर we are building a model. Okay, the logo of that company, the name of that company, the last historical period of that company, and the conversion unit of in which all the amounts, all the figures in our upcoming tabs in the financial model going to be shown. ठीक है, these all information need to be shown in the introduction tab just to make the reader aware well beforehand, like these all the things that we are going to assume throughout the model. Okay, so first of all, let's go back to the case study, and we know like this case study is on a Cinepolis. Cinepolis is a target company here, right? We are going to build a three statement model. We are going to build our financial model on Cinepolis. So first of all, like I have already taken the screenshot for the Cinepolis logo. So I will copy this and paste this here, okay, and place it in the middle, right, to make the reader aware that we are building a model on the Cinepolis. Now, what all the things we need to mention here, like I have already explained to you the name of the company, right? Then last historical period of the company and conversion unit, the thing that we figures or the amount that we are going to show uh, throughout the model. Okay, now name of the company will be Cinepolis, right? So I will enter here Cinepolis. Got it? Now in the same way, our last historical period we will enter. The what is going to be the last historical period? For that we need to go back to the case study, and we need to see like in the income statement, in the balance sheet, we have the historical period like fiscal year 21 and fiscal year 22, and after that we can see it is mentioned that it is a projected year or estimated year like fiscal year 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27, the 5 projected years, right? So in this case, the last historical period will be our fiscal year 22 because we have the reported data, we have the historical data till fiscal year 22. What does it mean? It means that the last reported period for which we have the data is 31st March 2022, and after that there will be an estimation, there will be a projections of the figures for the Cinepolis. Okay, so I will write here 31st March 2022. Got it? Now copy this and the conversion unit. All the things, all the figures we are going to show in the millions. The reason being, सर ये तो आप अपनी मर्जी से नंबर ले आए हो, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है. Let's go back to the case study and let's see like here it is written figures in INR million, right? So these all figures are in million, so that's why a conversion unit is going to be million. Anything which we have in absolute figure, which we have in a thousands, which we have in a hundreds, so we need to convert that figure, we need to convert that amount into millions. For that we have mentioned here, and also to make the reader aware that all the figures in the upcoming tabs going to be millions. Okay, so these three things and including the logo we need to mention in our introduction tab. All right, so this is how we will build our introduction tab. Now the another thing that we can do just to make the simple easiness for us in the future of the model, okay, that is changing the reference cell, reference unit name for our particular cell. Like for example, if we want to link the last historical period in any of the upcoming tabs. Okay, instead of going back to the introduction tab and linking that to this, what we can do is we can change this name from here to historical years. And now instead of going back to the introduction tab and linking in the formula like J14, instead of that, what we will do is we will just write hist underscore years. Okay, so we are good to go. All right. In the same way, what we will do is we will change the name of of this cell to units. So whenever we want to link our formula to the units, what we can simply do is we can just type units and we are good to go. We can directly link this cell from the name of the units. Okay, this thing we can do just for our simplicity कि हमें आगे easy हो जाए, ठीक है? And instead of coming back to the introduction tab, we can just on the tab only just write units and we are good to go. Okay, so these are all the things that we have to do in the introduction tab. Now after this we can create another tab and mention here inputs. Okay, so this input name is suggesting that after this tab there will be an inputs tab, like assumption tabs will be there, revenue drivers will be there, schedule tab will be there. Okay, and let me first of all write assumption. Okay, and creating another tab to the schedules. Now after this, what will be the output for us? Output for us will be income statement. All right, and balance sheet and cash flow statement. So this is the flow for our financial model. Like first of introduction, then inputs. Inputs contain only two tabs in this case study, that is assumptions and schedule. And if we want or if we need any more tabs, so we can create it that as well. And then there will be output tab, the output which contains income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. All right. Now we can go back to our case study and let's see like what all the things we can just extract from the case study and enter into our financial model. Okay, the first paragraph only stated about the competitors, about the like margins, right? Then the second paragraph is stating about the debt EBITDA target ratios, the debt that the company holds, and there will be income statement and balance sheet. These two table that we need to extract it from here and enter into our financial model. This income statement will go to the income statement tab and this balance sheet will go to the balance sheet tab. ठीक है, the purpose of this video जो आज हम बना रहे हैं is to just make uh, to build your base कि like most of the student doesn't know कि financial model start कैसे होता है, like just to start a model or just to start to building a model, but all the things that we should kept in mind. ठीक है, I have just explained you a lot of things. There are many lot of a thing other lot of a things that we need to also kept in mind. वो हम जब model go through करेंगे we will uh, understand like what all other things that we need to kept in mind. Okay, just giving you a sum up, what we have done till now is we have just built a introduction tab in which we have just entered the three information about the target company, like name of the company, last historical period, and conversion unit, and the logo of the company. All right, then we have just built the flow of the model, like what will be the flow of the model, right? Now let's go to the income statement and first of all remove the grid lines. Okay, now the second thing, like after removing the grid line, the second thing before started working on our tab, what we need to do is we just need to decrease the width of the first column. ठीक है, the reason being just to make easy navigability on a model, like अगर हमें नेविगेट करना है फ्रॉम अप टू डाउन राइट टू लेफ्ट, ठीक है, just for that simplicity we have to decrease the width of the first column, and we will see in the upcoming videos and in this video only, like how this function will help us to navigate easily throughout model. Okay, so ये करना है, and after that we just mention here the income statement. Okay, and making it bold and increasing its size. Okay, just to make the reader aware that this is an income statement. Now in this bracket we just entered all figures is in million except per share data. This thing we need to write here because like all the things, all the figures, all the line items are to be in millions, right? But the per share data need to be in absolute figure, that is in INR only. So this need to be mentioned here just to make the reader or the interpreter of a model कि जो INR डाटा है वो millions में नहीं रहेगा, बाकी और जितना भी डाटा है that is will be in millions only. Now after doing this, ठीक है, the third step is building the header for our model. Header का मतलब क्या होता है, we will see here. Header means which contain all the relevant information relating to our years, like 31st March 2021, 31st March 2022. That both years is going to be our historical years, right? And after that, the upcoming 5 years till fiscal year 27 is going to be our uh, projected years, right? So how to make the reader aware that this 2 years is the historical years, these 5 years are going to be the projected years, that information will be contained by our header in a financial model. Now how to build a dynamic header that will going to be remain same throughout our model, ठीक है, वो हम देखेंगे कि like once we build that header, we can copy that header and paste into the another tab. That header will work perfectly. ऐसा header हमें बनाना है, that is going to be known as a dynamic header. Okay, so for that what we need to do is one more thing, like we are going to follow a similar type of a color coding in our whole model. By color coding, I mean to say all the headings will be in dark blue color, all the assumptions, hard coded part, or the manually entered figures, amounts, anything will be in orange color. As we can see, like in our introduction tab, all the things that we have entered is in a orange color, right? And all the figures which are formula driven will be in black text coded, and all the things that are of the historical years and manually entered will be in blue texted colors. Okay, we will see, not to worry at all if you do not understand anything. जब हम practically अभी करेंगे, you will get each and everything almost cleared. Okay, so first of all let me make a dynamic header for you. Okay, giving it to the dark blue color. All right, and just copy this and paste it here as well. Okay, enter particulars, units. This is going to be our historical, right? Now this will be the projected years, right? Just to change this text color to white to make it more like, now it is perfectly fine, right? So I guess everything is clear right now. I have done nothing, just entered all the things like the particulars, units, historical and projected years. All right, now in just to make this header more dynamic, what all things we need to do is we just use a formula EO month. EO month basically is a formula that will give you a month uh, exact month. Like if we use the year month, we can find like here it is writing a starting date. Okay, year month basically हम जब use करते हैं just to get a month, like for we want May but we have a starting date of April. So what we will do is we will enter our starting date as April and comma we will write in the month 1 just to get a 1 month ahead of that April month, that is May. Okay, so if we use the year month and our starting date will be from this, that is the last historical period, right? So linked to our last historical period, right? So if we enter year month again and this is going to be a starting date and we need to go back 12 months back, right? Just to get a last historical year data, that is 31st March 2021. The same way we will use the year month here. The starting date will be this and we need to go ahead of 12 months. So I have written 12 here. Okay, in the same way I will copy this and enter here. So we will get a projected data till fiscal year 27. Now just changing is formatting. So we got our data till fiscal year 27. Got it? Now how this is how we can make a dynamic header like using a formula. What I have done is I have done nothing. I have just used a year month and I have entered historical years, that is 31st March 2022. We need this date only here, so that's why I have just mentioned 0 here. But in this case I just want to go back 12 months back from the starting date from the last historical period, so I have written -1 2 just to get this data. In the same way I need to go ahead of 12 months, so what I need to enter here is +1 2, that is +12. Okay, so I got this data, that is 31st March 2023. Now just to make it more readable, more attractable, more understandable to the reader, what we need to do is, what we can do is we can change this formatting. We can go to the custom. Okay, we can make it according to us, like what we want to show. We can enter fiscal year YY. Okay, so now it is writing fiscal year 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 and 27, right? It is more understandable now, right? So this is how we can create a header. So this is in a header that is going to remain same for the rest of the model. Okay, now just to create a separate subheading here. Okay, now we can start working on our model, like what all the details, what all the figures that we want to enter into. So we can do that from after building our header. Okay, now one more thing that we can do in this header is giving the like boundary to it. Okay, now let's go back to our case study and we can start entering all the details now. Like first of all we have the sales. So what we can do is now we can enter sales. It is going to be in millions, right? So I have millions. Now what is all the figures that we have is 1000 and 1250, 1250, and for fiscal year 23 will be 1550, fiscal year 24 1856 2178 and 2516 and fiscal year 27 2870. All right. Now after this we have like our gross profit given to us. We all know like gross profit comes after COGS, like sales minus COGS, right? So what we can do is we can enter COGS here. Okay, after that we can have our gross profit. This all the things in millions, so we will enter here. So let's enter our gross profit 600 and 755. So we all know like if we deduct our COGS from the sale we get a GP. So in the same way, if we deduct our GP from the sales, can't we be able to get our COGS, right? Like 1000 minus 600, so we got our COGS here. This is how we can calculate our COGS. Now after GP we have been given our EBITDA, right? So we all know like EBITDA comes after deducting of our operating expenses. So what we can do is we can deduct our operating expenses and then we can get our EBITDA here, right? So what is our EBITDA is 180 and 230. 180 and 230. In the same way how we calculate our COGS, the same way we can calculate our EBITDA. Like if we deduct our EBITDA from our GP, can't we be able to get our operating expenses? So this is how we can calculate our operating expenses, right? Now after that we have been given profit after tax, and after that we have depreciation. So what we can do is we can enter here less depreciation so that we can get our EBIT. Okay, the depreciation is 50 and 60. So if we deduct our depreciation from our EBITDA, we get our EBIT, right? Now after that we can deduct our interest expense and deduct our tax expense. Okay, and then we can get our PAT, that is net income, right? So our interest is 10%, our tax rate is 30%, but we have PAT that is 1797. So directly we can enter our PAT that is 1797. These two things we do not know, so right now we have just left it. Okay, when we build our model like our balance sheet and a whole model, so in the upcoming videos we can see like what all the details we need to enter here. So we have built our income statement, right? But all the information that we have in a case study, we have entered it in the income statement, right? Now, in the same way, let's go to the balance sheet and enter all the details from our case study. So first of all, we will remove the grid lines, okay, decreasing the width of the first two columns, going back to our income statement, copy this figure and enter it here, changing its name to balance sheet, right? Now going back to income statement, copy this header, okay, paste it here. So this is our header that works dynamically perfect in every tab, right? Now we need to see like what all the details we have in our balance sheet so that we can build a balance sheet as well. So we have like net fixed assets, non-cash working capital, debt, cash, and net worth. These five items we have. So how we going to enter or how we are going to build a balance sheet? We can see that. First of all, our current assets will be there. right? So we have to see like what all the things we have in our current assets. In the current assets, like we have non-cash working capital, we have debt, we have cash, we have net worth, and we have net fixed assets. So in this case, we have only one current asset, that is cash, right? So we will enter here cash and cash equivalent. Okay, and the detail of the cash is 50 and 60. Okay, after that we have fixed assets. Sorry, first of all, total current assets, that is also going to be in millions, and it will be the sum of this. Okay, now after this there will be a non-current assets. So let's see like what all the things we have in a non-current assets, that is only net fixed assets, right? So we will write here net fixed assets, and this is also in millions. Net fixed asset is 500 and 550. So this is the only thing that we have in a current asset. So I'm sorry, non-current asset. So we got a total non-current asset as well, just changing its name. All right, now the total asset, because these only two things we have, will be the sum of total current plus total non-current, right? This is also in millions, so we entered millions. Now let's start building our liabilities part. Current liabilities. Now all the things that we have in a current liabilities is only non-cash working capital, that is in minus. So that's why we got to know this is a current liability. If this is in positive, then we can show this figure into the current assets, but since it is negative right now, so we will show it as a current liability. Okay, non-cash, just enter other current liabilities. Okay, and the current liabilities is 100 and 100. This is the sum of this total. So okay, now in the same way we can build our long-term liability or non-current liability. For the non-current we have only debt, so we will enter here the debt portion, that is 300 and 320. Okay, now we have left only with equity, right? For the equity we need share capital and reserve and surplus. This is the total equity. Now for the total equity we can see like we do not have anything, but we have a net worth. Now how we can use this net worth to find out our total equity? The one way that we can do is like we can calculate a total equity by total asset minus this non-current liabilities minus this total current liability. We get to know like total equity comes around like 150 and 180. That is equal to net worth. Net worth anyways is equal to total assets minus total liabilities, which is again equal to total equity, right? So we have calculated our total equity, that comes around like 150 and 180. Okay, for this we can enter our reserve and surplus to be this, and our share capital 150 and 180. Okay, so this is a balance sheet that is given to us in our case study. So we have entered all the details in a balance sheet and in the income statement. Okay, so this is how we can build our start building our model. Okay, I will share this template with you guys in the G Drive link in the description.